All right, all right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. And I will say, this is a lovely evening in which the Most High, Ahia has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming today, this evening, with a very short message, and I mean it's going to be short because it would really go toward my emotions if I make the length of it long or put a lot of time on it. So I'm just going to cut short with it. I was just sitting here relaxing and just thinking about life itself. And I decided, okay, I'm going to go on Netflix and look at a movie called um, Who Killed Malcolm X. Sister Deborah don't get involved in stuff like that. She don't go looking at this sort of stuff. But somehow I didn't want to watch violence and I didn't want to watch a lot of chaos. And I said, I'm willing to sit down and watch Malcolm X, Who Killed Malcolm X on Netflix. So as I was sitting there and it came on and it was dealing with Islam and Muhammad and Elijah, Muhammad and Malcolm X. It talks about Muhammad Ali. It talks about a little about Martin Luther King. But I'm going to tell you what talked to me. Wow. Just sitting back, and I'm very relaxed. I got me some milk and cookies, and I was just laid back and just really listening. And this is the thing about being gifted by the Most High, Ahia, the gift that has been poured out from the heavens, not the gift that you've given yourself or the world tell you, you this, you that, you got this gift, you got that, and you tell yourself over and over, I'm gifted. This was more so a gift spirit in the sense that I've had, I think all my life. And it's when you're able to hear behind hearing and you can see behind seeing. So as I'm sitting here watching this here episode about who killed Malcolm X, and then I watched another episode and another, they go right behind each other. And I saw something that I have spoke to many of you all about, but here today it is what you call a 100 million full denial of who our men really, really are. And you sit back, and I began to sit back and look and pay attention. And all I could do is go more so in the spiritual realm and understanding a lot of it. Ahia saw something before he scattered a people among different countries. Okay. Before he did this, he saw something. Ahia. He didn't see it when it was presented. He saw it in the heavens. So once it came to pass and he now see it on the earth, it was like off the chain. We as a people, even as a nation, really, 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 really think that we are getting away with something. Let me tell y'all, as I was listening to the movie and really paying a lot of attention to who killed Malcolm X, and I sat back and guess what I saw? Guess what Sister Deborah saw? I saw what Ahia was saying about over in the promised land. They were doing the same thing they're doing over in this land. He was talking about the tribe of Judah. Same way they were conducting themselves over in the promised land, floating with milk and honey. they were conducting themselves over in the land of their oppressors and their captivity. So it's not so much as we want a higher to really save us, deliver us from all these things that's being done to us without going to let me get that. Leviticus, I think it's 24. Without going to Leviticus 24, no, yeah, Leviticus 26. I'm going to get there. But I'm sitting here watching this, and I begin to hurt my emotions as not just a female, it's just human emotions who hate, like Job, hate sin and iniquity. You know, it's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, that's when you know that you're walking in the light. For you to sit and just see things and not hate the wicked and evil and the iniquity that's heavy weighted and the darkness that's surrounding. So I sat here and I think I watched 6 episodes and I had to pull off. I wanted to make this video, so I want to say to you all, basically to the men of the tribe of Judah, I can see now, not today, but I thank the Most High for allowing me in a way to turn my time today on watching Netflix and beholding the story of Malcolm X, who killed Malcolm X. The reason why it brought so much light into what Ahia been showing me in the last 4 years to give to you all. Oh, what it does is it makes you realize you ain't never been off. You ain't never been off, Deborah. You always been on the right road. You always knew. You see? Even when you taught the people in parables, you always knew. And this is what you call reading behind. And that behind is when there's so much wicked and darkness and evil, you tend to be able, through the Ruach HaKodesh, he tend to allow you to be able to see behind sin. So as I'm listening to this Malcolm X series, and I think I'm in the 6th one right now, and it's just off the chain. And I sit back and I say, people sit and they hear me talking, even if it's one, even if it's two, and people go to total dumb city as if they don't know what the rats behind you talking about. You see? But the truth be told, is what my Ahia is going to do with the outcome of a lot of this chaos. Because yesterday I was reading how he was going to deliver our men. I was reading this and reading that and reading this, but Ahia said, you done read too many times how I was going to destroy them. So take that deliverance that you heard and know it sums it up to a small remnant. And then in the midst of that remnant, what did I tell you I did? He destroyed them. It makes so much sense. Listening to Muhammad, the who killed Malcolm X, it made me realize in the Islam community here in the United States, the level of evil and wicked that's wrapped around their necks and they hold a chain. You hear me? If you ever thought that the oppressors and the heathens and the slave master got an iron yoke around our necks, let me tell you, people of the tribe of Judah, just as I've spoken over and over and over about the house of Israel, tribe of Judah, Negro men, let me tell y'all something. The way Yah is going to deliver, when he allowed me to see this clip, it's bringing me back to reality. Saying, see, Deborah, they've been doing it before you was even born. listening to how Islam and how they rumble and how, because you try to make some sense of it all. You try to make sense of Muhammad Ali, not Muhammad Ali, Dr. Martin Luther King. You try to make some sense of Elijah Muhammad. You try to make some sense of all these Jesse Jackson and all of them, and there's no sense to be made because you run right back into Cliff O'Dollars, T.D. Jakes, all of those, Oprah, Tyler Perry, doing nothing for a nation of people. I mean nothing. And when I say nothing is this, you can't go into a city and take care of the city by buying a building and helping the homeless. That's nothing compared to all that you have been, all that you have. That's like you ain't done nothing when you do just taking a building, which they are not even doing that. But what it leads me to understand, Islam, a religion and belief and organization, is no different than the KKK. It's no different than the skinheads. Somebody is behind the KKK and the skinheads. And it's the same ones behind the KKK and the skinheads are also behind Islam. And it always been. First leader that is behind them are Satan himself and all his ace. Secondary are those who came down as representation to serve and be on his side. That is where their Islam, that is their working. That's what they're in. That's what they are surrounding. In the United States, that's why you don't see them do anything for the community, really do anything for the community. I'm not talking about 5%, y'all. That's why you don't see them doing anything for their nation as a people. See, they thinking their nation is Islam, their religion. They have made their nation a higher seed, their nation to be the nation in their nationality in which they were born in. You see what I'm saying? But they don't see it like that. They see their nation to be their religion. You see? But when Yah press his powerful right hand down on them, and see, Sister Deborah never would have thought to tell you all, when he said nation against nation, that nation shall fall. It's going to fall with Babylon, but it's going to come down before. You see, Babylon has fallen, but what I mean, the debris in this United States are those, okay, that's lined up with Babylon. When he said come out, he knows Islam that's over in this country practicing, and the power, some of their support is still detached to the same support that has supported all the crimes and all the things that has happened to the tribe of Judah. And the tribe of Judah run around here. A large number of the tribe of Judah. If it's 13% in a population in this country, guess what? I'm going to show you how far gone the minds of the tribe of Judah is gone. And they're going to die the lake of fire. Why? Because here, this is how far Islam, out of 13% a population of us over in this country. You got to give. You got to give at least 6 to 7% Islam. Okay? A religion. A bunch of Negroes running around here thinking they gangster in their nation. They're not including themselves as the nation of the tribe of Judah. And it doesn't matter to Ohio. You're going down. You're going down with Babylon. That's what I see when I see who killed Malcolm X. I'm so busy seeing it in the spiritual realm. When he say, come out of her, he's not talking to you. Because I always ask the Father, why do you make it so simple when you say come out? I don't see any other verses bouncing off of that verse telling a people to come out. He said, because I know, Deborah, they're not coming out. That's why I didn't expound. That's why I didn't put it in there to where they can precept it in line and cover it here. They're not coming out. They're going down with them. And when they go down, I sit back and watch and listen to sick Negroes. They call themselves Hebrew Israelites. They attack the skinheads. They attack the KKK, but they don't touch nothing with the Islam, who's behind the same power as the KKK, the skinheads. It's organized crime, organized wickedness and evil in its highest place. Okay? And it's been going on before I was even born. And I'm sitting here saying, so Father, all this that I'm saying, I had to have been on the right track. Yes, you have. So that's what I wanted to come back to say. And this is my last video today. But I wanted to come back because I believe that without a doubt, just watching the movie Who Killed Malcolm X, seeing that, and my whole ideal of watching it, I'm not fascinated with Malcolm X. I'm not fascinated with none of it. But the Spirit was showing me Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, all of them had a heavy line of darkness behind them. A lot of things they were doing was supporting the darkness that was behind them. That's why now you see Beyonce on the horse, half naked. The powers that bees got her pretending as a horse, like in Revelation. You know, the horses, because the wicked, the evil at its highest already know that Yah has released the horses already. They know that. And they said, our horse is going to be a black woman on a horse that the black people like. And they put her on there instead of the black people looking at it and shaming her. Whether you in the church or not, it's so many things Beyonce and a lot of these rappers and a lot of these black singers have done. And the Negroes in this country won't bring them to shame. And that's what Ahia was explaining to me. The difference from Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, Job and many others. They hate sin, iniquity, unrighteous. They were those who didn't like it at all. They didn't like it at all. With you all Negroes today, you don't have no problem with it. And matter of fact, a lot of y'all sit and listen to Beyonce, rumble with her, and all these other rappers. Y'all rumble with them, and y'all don't see no problem with Nasty Nas X, whatever his name is. Y'all said, when you see righteous like that, speak on it. But they won't speak. These Negro men, they won't come out of their shells for nothing because they're not who you all think they are. And they never were and never will be. So these people are not going. He's not going to clean them up. No, that's not the type of filthiness he's going to clean up. That's not the type that he's going to give them a new heart and new. They are not the type. That's why it's a small remnant that out of his own heart for his name's sake will he refresh. Okay? But people who are following this darkness at its highest and has chosen to go into the broad gate and follow Satan therein, Yah is not coming for you. So why this is why it makes me get emotional, because I think about all this time I'm on this devil platform saying to these people, even in my live chat, y'all, these men, y'all can't see what they doing. Y'all can't see they teaching women teaching other men how to hate, how to treat women negative. Y'all don't see all this thing. Hooping and hollering till the Father came to me. And with his comforter, it comforted me to realize, Deborah, this need be. It is over. It is finished. They're not going to cease from anything. You can stand on any type of mountaintop and proclaim whatever. They're not coming up out of it. If they didn't come up out of it for me, they didn't come out for Yeshua HaMashiach, they ain't coming out. No way. You see? So when I look at this here, who killed Malcolm X, it made me realize where our Negro man mindsets been gone. So when I say to you all 95%, I'm going to up that to 98. They are gone. Because as the man in the movie interviewed the other men, everybody knew all the killing, the murderer, and the sex from Elijah Muhammad, all the him mess with them little girls just like they doing today. Identical to what they doing today, y'all. That was back in 1963 and 64. They doing it still today. That's how they are able to get continue it today. And they got R. Kelly locked up for 30 years. But then all of them have gotten away with it for so long. They making an example out of R. Kelly. He's not going to be in there that long, but he's going to be in there a length of time to pay the crime. But he's doing what he saw already down our bloodline, down our lineage, amongst our black men. He saw this. He mimicked it as he was a little boy coming up. He saw his daddy and his granddaddy and his great-great-granddaddy. He saw his uncles and his brothers and his friends taking on raping little girls and dealing with young women and as many as they please. Exactly what's going on in the world today. And our men don't see nothing wrong with it. And as I watched the movie Who Killed Malcolm X on Netflix, I began to realize, I said, oh, Father, wait a minute. Father, wait a minute. And then I really wanted to get angry with y'all. I really wanted to get angry with y'all, but I couldn't. I couldn't, y'all. But I really wanted to get angry with y'all. Because when I see this and I say, Father, us Negro women didn't stand a chance. And you knew it, Father. You knew we couldn't stand a chance against the wicked and evil that's on the tribe of Judah. And the way they conduct themselves and the way they think. These children of 1960 are the same ones that's standing today. And you're trying to figure out, well, why are the kids so horrible today? Because a higher say these are the kids that was in the dark that shall come to the light in the last days. So all their wicked and evil is going to be revealed because we come into the light. They were already open in the dark. So now in the last days, Yah is going to bring it out so everything can be seen. But just imagine back in 1960, during the time of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all of them, it was so much wicked and evil going on. It didn't matter if they set up for the man to get killed or not. It didn't matter if they knew that Martin Luther King was going to get shot and killed. They all knew. They already knew. You see, because in our hearts of our who we are, the type of oppressed that we are, and the yoke that is around our neck is to destroy each other. That's what it's doing. That whole ideal of us over here, you didn't even catch it. That's why I say you're gone here. 98% gone. Because you're killing and destroying each other. Where is that connected to the curse itself? A higher had to explain to me, Deborah, hold up now. Hold up. Stand down. That wasn't the curse. Let me say that again. stand down. That wasn't a part of the curse. This is what the father, Ahiah, is saying. Deborah, that's just who they were. That many reject the words that proceed out of my mouth. I had to step on Ezekiel's neck in 36. I was explaining to him, furthermore, let me tell you, the things that they're going to do over in this land of their captivities are already the things that they have already done in the land that was holy, floating with milk and honey. Don't give the men that type of leeway and that type of credit and that type of kingship and leadership. And don't give it to them. It's not due them. Nothing but the lake of fire. That's why 7 women is going to be to 1 man. Because there ain't going to be no more men alive. And they too ignorant to see that. So the dry bones is going to be the army of David. That's why David's coming back to the promised land. It's going to be the army of David that has fought in the war. Y'all going to bring them up out of the dead. But y'all is not going to bring a wicked mindset and a heart that decide when they got down here that for sure I'm going to roll and rumble with Satan. What make people think that we can rumble and roll and hang out and deal with him and praise him idol him and everything, and then y'all gonna kick all that to the side and come clean us up? No, he's not cleaning up those who came down here intentionally to hook up with Satan. No. You came down here and instant hooked up to what is unjust, what is unrighteous, what is evil, what is wicked, what is sin, and what is iniquity. Murdering, killing, stealing, and destroying. You hooked up to. Those are not the one he's going to clean up, y'all. So y'all stop making him a lie. But he wanted me to stand down. Yeah, I know you seen the movie. And you see it went further than the rabbit hole itself. It's deeper than the rabbit hole itself. It's broader than the rabbit hole itself. And he say, stand down, because those clowns I'm not coming to clean up. Because see, that's where I'm going into myself. I'm getting into my feelings now. Wait a minute, Father. Yeah, I just heard how you going to deliver. I just heard there won't be the one. Islam is supported back. This is what Ahiah said. Islam in this country, the United States, is supported by the same one that has supported KKK, skinheads, and all these white supremacists. They are support. That's why Islam won't help their nation of people by birthright or by bloodline or by lineage. They want to form their own nation. And they proven to the heathens that we are willing to have our nation separate from a people as long as you support us and give us what we need to stay away from our own bloodline nation. So when you hear him say nation against nation, y'all don't understand what this prophetess is telling y'all. That's a war within a war in this country. Islam don't even understand. When that time come, they going down. It ain't gonna be no, okay, we ain't gonna buy. No, they preparing for you. For so long have you went into their darkness and you fondle with them. And long as they gave you the proper leeway and the protection, that you were fine. Long as y'all can pretend y'all kings and leaders and rulers, role playing. And y'all recruit these little boys and these little men, these men in this prison, every one of them to be on your side. But I'ma see is your Muhammad and your God gonna deliver you from my Ahiah. Because now that I know that, now they're going to also start seeing you all for who you are in the dark. Because the people of the tribe of Judah, which they call their ignorant tales, the Hebrew Israelite, they're not awakened to nothing but being stupid and ignorant, violence, being the same people they were before they even came over to this land. So that's why Ahiah says, stand down, hold up, stand down. That means come up off of him. I can't blame Ahiah. He said these people were like this, Deborah. I said it in Ezekiel 36. These people were like this before they even came over to this land. So the violence that is within them, the hate that is within them that's why he was telling me for the last 3 and 4 months. The hate that is in the house of Israel, the tribe of Judah, is likened to the perpetual hate that is in the heathens. I was like, it making sense, y'all. It's all making sense. And I give him glory and honor again for allowing me to take out this time to sit here and watch who killed Malcolm X. Because when I see this, this is exactly what's taking place today amongst the tribe of Judah. And they walking around here talking about they the people, we the children. And I'm like on here watching this and Father, so they the children, huh? They your children, huh? That's Jacob's kids, huh? So them the one you gonna come deliver, huh? No. He just wanted me to see the movie so I see how big the rabbit hole really is and how long it goes down. It goes deep. It's deep, y'all. It's deeper than deep. It's broad and it's deep. So I said we're not gonna stand a chance. And I thank the Most High for gathering heathens up out of here. Because it's mentally, physically, emotional to see this that's taking place. And they going back into the history of showing you those who did it and those who was behind it and what Elijah Muhammad used to be like, what he used to do, and how our own people killed our own people. And we're running around here talking about what the heathen's doing. You see, the heathen is back in their game up. You see, that's why Muhammad Ali, not Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, any black man that comes out and try to pretend they stand in a role, they get caught in the same game that they started off because their heart wasn't right with Ahiah. You see, they started off right with the intent to do what is right. But then they decided to what? Follow man. Malcolm X was okay till he got into the Islam because he had served time in jail. He learned about Islam. He got out and started following them. But when since he had so much righteous within him that was haunting him, he couldn't follow their tradition of their wickedness that is supported by a level of the elects behind the KKK and the skinheads and the Islam community. That's who's supporting them. But y'all say, Deborah, when I said nation against nation, you never considered them. I said, no, Father, I never would have considered them. That's just showing you it's going to be a throwdown. And they're going to go down. They're going to go down. Because they built their own God here on earth. And they were the same one he dispersed and scattered. And they decide to build an idol, their own God. All of this stuff that everybody's running around here. And it makes me saddened because I sit back and think about how I'm always hooping and hollering about these people on this devil platform. With these clown clothes on. These wolves and sheep clothing. These people who try to cover the world and then ride the fence 10% about Ahiah, then cover the rest of it in the world. Then, but want people to see them and be holy, then die. But wait a minute, what side are you on? Who you gonna serve? in such a midnight hour. So Sister Deborah, say, I hope you got something out of it. But I like to read this here before I get off. In Leviticus chapter 26. In Leviticus chapter 26, verse 40. If they should confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespass against me, and that also they would walk contrary to me. He said, only if they would just confess. Now watch this here. Verse 41. Verse 41. We in Leviticus. What's that? Leviticus 44. No, Leviticus chapter 26, verse 40. Let's start back with 40. Leviticus chapter 26, verse 40. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, verse 41, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and brought them into a land of their enemies. If then they uncircumcised heart be humble, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, they're not accepting it. Matter of fact, they're throwing it in his face. We don't care about your iniquity. We have stood up on the 400 years. We still standing. We don't care how bad we've been through this and we went through this and they did this with us. They got a yoke around our necks. We don't care. We still rumbling in darkness. We still rumbling and hating. We still rumbling and murdering. Everything they were doing before they got over here, they continue to do the 400 years. And that's what Ahia is saying unto me. So don't take it lightly, Deborah, when I say nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom, right there in that land itself. So Sister Deborah, would say that I hope you got something out of it, and I hope that it can be of use. And if you have any time, watch on Netflix Who Killed Malcolm X and see the wicked of the wicked of the wicked of the wicked of our black men. And this is what Sister Deborah been saying the 4 years she's been on here. Once you see it and you see the history telling you the reason why we are here is because of who we are as a ugly people. This didn't start when you were born. This starts the rabbit hole, he says, is broader and deeper than one can imagine. So Sister Deborah, says shalom and shalom.